Have you ever been so desperate for a job that you almost get arrested? Yeah, so that actually happened to me. This was early in my career. I think I was 22 or 23. I might have even been 24. I don't know. But I was working part time as an operations supervisor, and I needed a full time job because I needed to make some money. I think I was making roughly $15 or $16 an hour at that point, working 20 about close to 30 hours or so a week, and I needed those extra $100, $200 or so a week. Like that would make a big difference. So I saw this job fair advertisement on TV on a local station because I had no cable, and they were advertising this operations supervisor job for like a healthcare company or something. And they said, hey, we're paying up to like $20, like starting at $20 an hour, and you don't need to have like healthcare experience at all. So as long as you have some sort of experience in leadership. And I'm like, say less. Like I definitely have that. So I go to this job fair. Like you had to fill in some information first before going there, so you can interview once you get to the job fair. It was like an open interview. So I go there, wear my slacks, my dress shirt, my Stacey Adams shoes. I think they cost like $25 or $30 on sale from AJ Wright or whatever one of those stores were. So I go there and they call my name and they said, tell me about yourself. So I go through the whole spiel of just my experience. I got a degree, got a bachelor's in communication, and all of those things. So and then the recruiter asked me, do you have any kind of, do you have any healthcare experience? And I'm sitting there like, that literally says you don't need healthcare experience. So why are you asking me this? So I'm like, oh, maybe she'll tell me like, oh, that's okay if you don't have it. So I say, no, I don't, but I definitely have a lot of transferable skills, whether it's leading people, managing an operation. So the fundamentals are the same, as long as I know what the KPIs are, like I'll do what needs to be done to ensure that we meet those. And, she's nodding her head and she was like, unfortunately, we're looking for someone with some sort of healthcare experience. And at that point, my heart just dropped. I've already thought of so many ways I was going to spend that extra $100 or $200 or $300 a week. And I'm like, bruh, now I got to go back to work. I'm devastated at this point. And then she hits me with, but if we do have any other roles that I think will be a good match, like we'll definitely keep your resume on file. And I knew that's code for like, bro, yeah, I'm not about to reach back out to me. So she said, well, do you have any other questions for me? And I was like, well, do you have any roles that you think I might be a good fit for, based on my qualifications now? And she responds like, unfortunately not. And then at that point, like I'm going from like devastated and like sad to like frustrated. At this point, she's like, well, do you have any other questions? And I was like, well, I do have one more question. And she says, well, what is it? She starts kind of just leaning forward and thinking I'm about to ask her something about benefits or something. And then I ask her, what are your qualifications? And I was pretty serious too. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, what are your qualifications to tell me that I'm not qualified to do this simple job? Like, I've done something similar in the past. So I'm curious to understand, like, what makes you think that I can't do this job? And then, she was obviously surprised by that. Anybody would be like, who says that in a job interview, right? But at that point, she responded with like, well, I meant like, do you have any questions about the job itself? And I responded with, there's no point in me asking about the job. Like at this point, you obviously don't want to push me forward, and I'm not getting a job, so I don't really care. But I'm curious to know like what makes you think like I can't do this job, because you say you don't need healthcare experience, and now that you're saying that I do, so this is like a big bait and switch because that's not what you guys advertise. So you really just wasted my time, and I hope you guys just wouldn't do that in the future. And then I just walked off. I still kept it professional, but I was very direct. And just walked off like, have a good day. And as I was walking off, I told the people, hey, y'all, if y'all ain't got no healthcare experience, like, you might as well just go on home, man. They're not looking for those folks. And then she was behind me. She was like, please don't leave. Like, that's not entirely true. And I'm like, oh, so you just don't want me? Okay. And then I was just like, I'm leaving just frustrated at this point. But I told myself right there and then, like, I'm not going home without finding a job today, like a full-time job. Like, I was very determined. So as I'm walking out of the building, thinking to myself, like, bro, I ain't leaving here with nothing. So I say to myself, like, I'm about to go find a job somewhere. Like, even if I have to walk into a company uninvited, I'm going to try to find like some sort of progress here. So I start driving around looking for a building that looks like it's got an office, but it's also kind of like a warehouse. So as I drive around for 5 or 10 minutes looking for a company, I see a PepsiCo building nearby. And it kind of looked like a warehouse, but not quite, more like an office. And I was like, this is it. So I drive up, and then there's a gate with a keypad on it. I thought about pressing the button, but then I was like, what am I going to tell him? So I started driving back because it didn't open. And as I was driving back, like, this is not going to work, I see someone coming off the opposite side of the gate, driving off, because there's like an entrance and an exit. So as soon as they exit, the gate stays open for like an extra 3 to 5 seconds. So I don't know what came over me. Like, I did not think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps after what I'm about to do. So as soon as they leave, as I was backing up, I just make a quick turn and then just drive and just floor it and go straight through the exit only gate. So as soon as I drive in, I'm not thinking through like what's going to happen next. Like, I didn't just think through the fact that I just trespassed on a quote unquote private property that's gated. This is supposed to be for obviously employees only. So luckily there's a building nearby that looks kind of like an office. So I go in, I park my car, and then I go inside the building and I see 2 ladies talking to each other. And as soon as I walk in, I'm obviously freestyling everything at this point. I go in and I say, hey, is there an HR manager here? I'm supposed to be talking to him. And then the lady hits me with, who are you here to see? And I pull out my phone as if I'm about to pull their name or something. And I'm like, my phone is going super slow. But I was supposed to talk to an HR rep or HR manager here. And then the other lady was like, is there, like, do you work here? Like, because there's no HR people that work in this building. And when she says, do you work here? I responded with, not yet. As soon as I said that, I was like, geez, why did you say that? And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm trying to project because I'm about to get this job. And as soon as I said that, the ladies kind of was like, huh? Like, something is off. And then the other lady kind of just went back and asked, how did you get in here, sir? And I was like, snap. Didn't think this through at all. And I was like, just quick on my feet. And I said, the gate was open. And she was like, that gate shouldn't be open. We should probably talk to such and such to make sure, like, just that should not be open. And as soon as they said that, and I was like, well, I guess where is the HR? Is there like an HR building here or so? Maybe I'm in the wrong building. And they're like, no, this is the only like office building that we have. The rest is just the warehouse. Like, HR doesn't even work out of this entire facility. Like, they're usually in corporate. And then I was like, I need to hurry up and leave at this point before they pull some footage and realize like I just came through the opposite side and the gate has been closed the whole time. So I say to myself, okay, let's try to at least get one information before you leave. And I was like, well, I guess, what is the HR person's name? Because I want to make sure, like, maybe I'll remember their name if you say it. And then they told me the name, and I was like, okay, at least I got one piece of information. And then I was like, well, thanks anyways. I don't know. Hopefully my phone starts going a little bit faster. And then I just leave, get in my car, and just hurry up and try to get the hell out of that freaking place before they realize that I just came through and just trespassed on their property, because I did not want to have to deal with like security or the cops or anything and have to explain why I trespassed. What am I going to tell? I was trying to get a job. So I obviously left and didn't get arrested. Nobody had to be called, but I didn't completely like plan this out. So this was more passion taken over than logic. But at the end of the day, obviously, this is not the right way to get a job. I did get that person's name. Sent them an email. No response. But the thing is, like, roughly 3 or several months later or so, I did end up getting a full-time job with the company that I was with through an interview / promotion. And so everything kind of just worked out. But the whole point of the story is, persistence is not pretty. Sometimes you have to do things that other people are not willing to do. You have to look foolish. Those are the things that's going to help you continue to grow. Like, it obviously didn't help me that day, but I like to think in some ways just being able to be okay with rejection is what helped me be successful. So obviously didn't get a job that day, but that was the wildest job hunt of my early career. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this somewhat entertaining. It definitely wasn't that day, but as I think back through it now, that was definitely pretty wild. Thanks for watching.